moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing.
Let's talk about the filth that's starting to come out in the early days of the Diddy trial. This, of course, is P. Diddy. Surprise, surprise, he's a creep. Surprise, surprise, he's done horrible things.
It's happening, folks. The courtroom is on fire, and it's all thanks to 50 Cent, who has stepped into the spotlight not just as a spectator, but as the ultimate insider, someone who knows the game and has now decided to torch it from the inside out. The tension is so thick you could slice it with a knife, and all eyes are on 50 as he drops bombshell after bombshell. But the biggest shock? His latest accusations aren't just aimed at Diddy, they're pulling Usher right into the chaos. That's right, Usher Raymond, the R&B superstar we all thought had left his troubled past behind, is suddenly being dragged into the swirling storm of allegations surrounding Diddy's alleged dark side. And let us tell you, the revelations are nothing short of jaw-dropping.
Dishonest, violent, horrible. A promiscuous swinger who lied to and cheated on multiple partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers described the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious trafficking charges in a New York court.
Picture this. The courtroom is packed, the air electric with anticipation, and 50 Cent takes the stand. Or more accurately, the center stage. The whispers start immediately. What does he know? What's he about to reveal? And just like that, the first bomb drops. According to insiders, 50 is insinuating that Usher might know far more about Diddy's alleged freak-off culture than he's ever let on. Gasps ripple through the room as 50 hints that Usher's time living with Diddy as a teenager might not have been the mentorship fairy tale we've been led to believe. Instead, it's being whispered that those years could hold secrets darker than anyone could have imagined.
Right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Let's rewind for a moment. Usher was just 14 or 15 years old when he was sent to live with Diddy under the guise of learning the ropes of the music business. At the time, it seemed like a golden opportunity, a chance for the young singer to soak up the lifestyle and swagger of one of the industry's biggest moguls. But now, as 50 Cent peels back the curtain, it's starting to sound like that opportunity may have been something else entirely. Could it be that Usher was exposed to the very culture of excess and manipulation that Diddy is now being accused of orchestrating? And if so, what did he see? What did he experience? And most importantly, why has he stayed silent all these years? Courtroom is buzzing with these very questions, and speculation is running wild. 50 Cent, ever the provocateur, seems to be suggesting that Usher's loyalty to Diddy isn't just about gratitude for a career jumpstart. No, it might be rooted in something far more sinister. Could Diddy's rumored blackmail vault, a treasure trove of incriminating photos and videos, contain something on Usher? It's a chilling thought, but one that's gaining traction as 50 continues to fan the flames. After all, it wouldn't be the first time Diddy has been accused of using leverage to control those around him. And let's not forget Usher's own cryptic statements over the years about his time with Diddy, calling it wild and crazy, but stopping short of revealing any real details. Was that reluctance born out of fear?
Stevie J, the Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man.
As the trial unfolds, it's becoming clear that Usher's name is being tied to key moments in Diddy's alleged freak-off culture. Witnesses are reportedly whispering about events where Usher's presence was noted, though his involvement remains murky. And that's exactly what's driving the tension. Is Usher simply a witness, someone who saw too much but did nothing? Or could he be implicated as a participant in the very behavior that's now under scrutiny? The lines are blurring and the stakes are skyrocketing. If 50 Cent's accusations hold any weight, Usher could be forced to take the stand. And that might just be the beginning of his own unraveling.
You know, there's a short life in
Why do you think that is, what the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take you're going through so much to try and deal with life.
What's even more intriguing is Usher's calculated distance from the trial. While many of Diddy's former associates have either spoken out against him or rallied to his defense, Usher has remained conspicuously quiet. It's a silence that's deafening, especially as 50 Cent's allegations grow louder. Could it be that Usher is trying to avoid the spotlight for fear of what might come to light? Or is he quietly preparing himself for the possibility that he too could be dragged into this scandal in ways he never anticipated?
What'd they do to him? Because there's a lot of speculation out there, but nobody, I mean, I've heard things, but what did they really do to him?
And then there's the shadow of Diddy's infamous freak-offs. These weren't just wild parties, they were reportedly orchestrated multi-day events where boundaries were blurred and lines were crossed. Substances, coercion, and, according to some, outright exploitation were the order of the day. Usher has admitted in past interviews that he saw things during his time with Diddy that he didn't fully understand at the time. But now, with the spotlight on Diddy's alleged predatory behavior, those comments take on a whole new weight. What exactly did Usher witness? And could his teenage years in Diddy's orbit have left scars he's never been able to confront?
I'm in a revolt. Go back to that 50 Cent post. And I'm gonna tell you why 50 is literally is a diabolical genius.
The courtroom drama is turning into a full-blown spectacle, with 50 Cent playing the role of both whistleblower and instigator. His accusations are raising questions that no one is ready to answer. Not Diddy, not Usher, and certainly not the legal teams scrambling to control the narrative. But one thing is clear, the stakes couldn't be higher. If Usher is forced to take the stand, it could either vindicate him as an innocent bystander or expose him as someone with his own secrets to hide. And if it's the latter, the fallout could be catastrophic. Not just for Usher, but for the entire house of cards that Diddy's empire seems to be built on.
So that's just competitive.
Competitiveness. All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with him
okay,
like that.
damn, all right. I didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
All right, okay.
As we sit here watching this drama unfold, we can't help but wonder, is this just the tip of the iceberg? The deeper 50 Cent digs, the more questions arise, and the more dangerous the game becomes for everyone involved. Could Usher's silence be the calm before the storm? And if that storm hits, what will it reveal about the dark underbelly of an industry that has long thrived on secrecy and power dynamics? The tension in the courtroom is palpable, the whispers growing louder with every passing moment. Will Usher be forced to break his silence? And if he does, will it be a confession, a revelation, or something else entirely? The answers feel closer than ever, but the stakes are climbing higher by the second. And as the courtroom trembles under the weight of 50 Cent's allegations, the chaos is spilling far beyond those four walls. Hollywood is in full panic mode, scrambling to contain what's quickly becoming an uncontrollable wildfire. Diddy's empire, once untouchable, is now teetering on the brink of collapse. The whispers are growing louder. This isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning. The allegations of manipulation, coercion, and deeply disturbing behavior are shaking the very foundation of an industry that has long thrived on secrecy and unchecked power. And with every new accusation, every new name dragged into the fray, the cracks in Diddy's carefully curated legacy are becoming impossible to ignore.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at it.
The legal ramifications alone are staggering. Multiple outlets are now reporting that the FBI and Department of Homeland Security are digging deeper into allegations of trafficking and organized exploitation tied to Diddy's so-called freak-off culture. Searches of his properties have reportedly uncovered evidence that could take this case to an entirely new level. Could this be the beginning of a full-blown federal takedown? And if so, who else might get caught in the crossfire? Diddy's sprawling network of collaborators, associates, and enablers, some of whom are among the biggest names in music, are all being scrutinized. The question on everyone's lips: how much did they know, and did they help keep it all under wraps?
We'll take Justin Bieber. A grown man take Justin Bieber when he was young to a romantic vacation, showing pictures on the...
Enter Justin Bieber. As if this scandal couldn't get any more explosive, 50 Cent's crusade has now cast a shadow over Bieber's early years in the industry. Let's not forget, Bieber was just a fresh-faced teenager when he entered Diddy's orbit, signing to Usher's label and becoming one of the youngest protégés in Diddy's sprawling empire. At the time, it seemed like a dream come true, a young star being mentored by two of the biggest names in music. But now, with Diddy's past under the microscope, those early years are being re-examined in an entirely different light. Was Bieber another victim of this toxic environment?
Referred to me as Wild King Nights. And what a Wild King Night was when him and a guest would go to a hotel room or be at his home, his bedroom, and they would have intimate gatherings. I would have to go and prep that hotel room, which consisted of baby oil Astroglide.
We can't ignore the resurfaced clips that have been making their rounds on social media. Diddy, grinning on camera, boasting about spending 48 hours with a then 15-year-old Bieber. The cryptic comments about what they were doing, we can't really disclose, now feel more ominous than playful. And Bieber's own words from that time, expressing excitement over having Diddy as a mentor take on a chilling undertone in hindsight. Is it possible that Bieber, too, was exposed to the darker side of Diddy's world, the same world that has now become the center of this scandal? Even Bieber's public struggles over the years, his turbulent rise to fame, his battles with personal demons are being reevaluated. Could they be the fallout of something much deeper, something tied to the very system that was supposed to protect and nurture him? The speculation is unavoidable and the questions are piling up. If Bieber did witness or experience anything during his time with Diddy, could this explain why he has remained so silent on the matter? Or is he simply another pawn in a game much bigger than himself, trapped in the same web of power and secrecy that 50 Cent is now trying to unravel?
You don't trust nobody. In Hollywood, specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
And Bieber isn't the only name being whispered in connection to this scandal. Hollywood insiders are quietly pointing out that Diddy's parties were legendary, not just for their excess, but for the A-listers who attended them. Actors, musicians, athletes, some of the biggest stars of the last 3 decades were regular fixtures in Diddy's orbit. Could it be that this scandal goes far deeper than anyone realized? Are there others still in the shadows who are bracing for their own secrets to come to light? The implications are staggering. If even half of what's being alleged is true, this isn't just Diddy's downfall. It's a systemic failure, a damning indictment of an industry that has long turned a blind eye to its own darkness.
Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence, but still.
But let's bring it back to 50 Cent, the man at the center of this storm. What started as a personal feud with Diddy has now snowballed into something far bigger. This isn't just about settling old scores anymore. This is a full-scale takedown of one of the most powerful figures in entertainment. 50 Cent isn't holding back, and his relentless pursuit of the truth is sending shockwaves through the industry. He's not just naming names, he's connecting dots, shining a light on the shadowy practices that have long been whispered about but never confronted. And make no mistake, this is personal for 50. He's made it clear that he sees Diddy as the epitome of everything wrong with the industry, a man who built his empire on manipulation, exploitation, and a manufactured image of invincibility. By exposing him, 50 Cent isn't just taking down a rival, he's sending a message to the entire industry. The old guard, the untouchables, they're no longer safe. The rules of the game are changing and 50 is leading the charge, but the question is, how far is he willing to go? And what will he uncover next?
This guy,
50's not to be.
No, don't.
50's not.
Fifth, y'all don't even. Fifth is
play around
different.
if you want to.
Fifth is different.
The feud between 50 Cent and Diddy stretches back years, but it's only now that the full scope of their animosity is coming into focus. While much of their earlier tension seemed to revolve around competition in the music industry to moguls vying for dominance in the hip-hop world, insiders have long whispered that their beef runs far deeper. 50 Cent has never been one to hold back, often mocking Diddy publicly, whether it's on social media or in explosive interviews. At one point, the feud seemed almost playful, with 50 dubbing Diddy Puffy Love and accusing him of being overly affectionate with male celebrities. But in hindsight, could those jabs have been the early signs of a much darker agenda? Rumors have circulated for years that 50 Cent was privy to secrets about Diddy that no one else dared to reveal. Some suggest that 50's early rise in the industry brought him dangerously close to Diddy's inner circle, where he allegedly witnessed behavior that left him determined to distance himself. It's now being speculated that these personal experiences may have planted the seeds for 50's current crusade. This isn't just business for him, it's personal. And with 50's reputation for persistence and his knack for digging up dirt, his sudden focus on dismantling Diddy's empire feels calculated, almost as if he's been waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
Let's not forget that 50 Cent has always been one to thrive in chaos, using public feuds as a way to stay relevant and dominate the narrative. From his early days of clashing with Ja Rule to his more recent spats with Floyd Mayweather, he's a master at turning conflict into currency. But this time it feels different. The stakes are higher, the accusations more severe. This isn't just about petty insults or industry competition, it's about exposing what 50 Cent seems to believe is a systemic abuse of power. And for someone like 50 who built his career on being the ultimate outsider, taking down an insider like Diddy would be the ultimate victory. There's also speculation that 50's motivation goes beyond personal grudges and into the realm of legacy. By positioning himself as a truth teller and disruptor, he's not just taking aim at Diddy, he's cementing his own place in history as someone who dared to challenge the status quo. To 50, this isn't just a takedown, it's a statement. It's his way of proving that no one, not even the most powerful figures in the industry, should be above accountability. And in an era where public perception can make or break careers, 50's relentless pursuit of the truth is forcing people to take a closer look at the industry as a whole.
The question is he a criminal? Is he
basically akin to a mob boss running several criminal enterprises. And while it's very clear to me he is a depraved, disgusting person, we have to prove that he violated the law.
What's fascinating is how much power 50 Cent seems to wield in shaping the narrative. His social media posts alone have sparked renewed interest in long-forgotten rumors, bringing attention to Diddy's alleged freak-offs and reigniting conversations about the darker side of Hollywood. In a way, 50 Cent has become the voice of those who feel silenced, using his platform to amplify whispers that might otherwise have been ignored. And while some critics accuse him of exploiting the situation for personal gain, others argue that his willingness to speak out, no matter how messy or controversial, might be exactly what's needed to force the industry to confront its demons.
And what's really going to be interesting is the parade of celebrities who we expect to be mentioned and or called into that courtroom. You know, people who we hadn't heard about prior, like Mike Myers, you know, Austin Powers, Mike Myers. Why is he getting called? Why is he on the witness list? That'll be fascinating. And then, of course, there are the no-name, quote unquote, women who are going to have to find every ounce of courage they have.
We're left with a sense of unease, a feeling that this story is far from over. The allegations against Diddy are just the beginning. As more names come forward, as more pieces of the puzzle fall into place, the scope of this scandal could grow to unimaginable proportions. Could this be the moment that finally forces Hollywood to reckon with its own darkness, or will the industry find a way to sweep it all under the rug once again? One thing is certain, with 50 Cent driving this narrative, the truth will not stay hidden for long. So what do you think? Are we witnessing the fall of an empire, or is this just the tip of the iceberg? And how deep does this rabbit hole really go? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, there's always more to the story than meets the eye. We'll see you soon.